On June 24, 1945, a legendary parade was held in Moscow to commemorate the victory of the USSR over Germany in the Great Patriotic War. About 40,000 people marched through the Red Square of the capital in a solemn march. 24 marshals, 249 generals, 2536 officers participated in the parade. In addition, more than 1,850 units of military equipment passed along the paving stones. On June 24, 1945, the Victory Parade took place on Moscow's Red Square. It was the triumph of the victorious Soviet people who defeated Hitler's Germany, which led the United Forces of Europe in the Great Patriotic War. The Victory Parade was hosted by Marshal of the Soviet Union Georgy Konstantinovich Zhukov, Marshal of the Soviet Union Konstantin Konstantinovich Rokossovsky commanded the parade. The entire organization of the parade was led by the commander of the Moscow Military District and the head of the Moscow garrison, Colonel General Pavel Artemyevich Artemyev. The decision to hold a parade in honor of the victory over Germany was made by the Supreme Commander, in-Chief Joseph Vissarionovich Stalin, shortly after Victory Day. In mid-May 1945, 200 banners and standards of the defeated German units were carried by the soldiers in gloves, emphasizing that it was disgusting to take even the shafts of these standards in their hands, and they threw them on a special platform so that the standards would not touch the pavement of Red Square. Hitler's personal standard was thrown first, and the banner of Vlasov's army was the last. The fighters for the main parade of the country were selected meticulously. First of all, they took those who showed heroism, bravery, and military skill in the battles. Qualities such as height and age mattered. For example, in the order for the troops of the First Belarusian Front dated May 24, 1945, it was noted that the height should not be lower than 176 centimeters, and the age should not be older than 30 years. At the same time, the troops of 7 other fronts of the USSR armed forces that existed as of May 9, 1945, did not take part in the parade. The Transcaucasian Front, the Far Eastern Front, the Transbaikal Front, the Western Air Defense Front, the Central Air Defense Front, the Southwestern Air Defense Front, and the Transcaucasian Air Defense Front. During the organization of the parade, a number of problems had to be solved in a very short time. So if students of military academies, cadets of military schools of the capital, and soldiers of the Moscow garrison had ceremonial uniforms, then thousands of frontline soldiers had to sew it. This task was solved by the garment factories of Moscow and the Moscow region. The parade was planned to begin with the removal of the Victory Banner, which was delivered to the capital on June 20th from Berlin. However, the standard-bearer Neustroev and his assistants Igorov, Kantaria, and Berest, who hoisted him over the Reichstag and sent him to Moscow, went extremely badly at rehearsals. There was no time for drill in the war. The same battalion commander of the 150th Idris Berlin Rifle Division, Stepan Neustroev, had several wounds. His legs were damaged. As a result, the removal of the Victory Banner was refused. By order of Marshal Zhukov, the banner was transferred to the Central Museum of the Armed Forces. For the first time, the Victory Banner was put on parade in 1965. The morning of June 24th turned out to be rainy. 15 minutes before the start of the parade, it began to rain. The weather improved only in the evening. Because of this, the aviation part of the parade and the passage of Soviet workers were canceled. The parade lasted 2 hours under heavy rain. However, this did not confuse people and did not spoil the holiday. It was a real triumph of the victorious people, the Soviet civilization. The Soviet Union withstood and won the most terrible war in the history of mankind. Our people and army have defeated the most effective military machine in the Western world. They destroyed the terrible germ of the New World Order, the Eternal Reich, in which they planned to destroy the entire Slavic world and enslave humanity.